Right, hey guys, how we doing? Back into the video from Team 4 Star for the 4 Star Bento channel, and I've been waiting to see if this was actually going to be a real thing. I wasn't really too initially interested in checking out the other movies that they've checked out, but I do feel like they are something that could potentially casually throughout January, maybe check out. I don't know, want to kind of chill January, but I cannot wait to watch this. This movie is so bad. I can't wait to see their reaction to it. So let's do this.
Have a Dragon Ball. Bring it to me.
Go get the ball. Go get it. Go get that ball, boy. You just go to the roof. Go get that ball. You just a monkey man.
And I apologise for not checking them out. I had other things I wanted to do. I've been very busy. December is a really busy month for me within my real job outside of this, so I just don't have the time. So if you ever had days where I had 3 videos going, a lot of time went into doing that. Like, let's do this. And let me know which ones are worth checking out. Because obviously I'm checking this one out, but the others, tell me which one you want to see first. And I might just do one in January. I don't know, because I need to chill. Love the opening animation. It's cool. Dragon Ball at the movies.
So we end our tour, the gradient of Dragon Ball movies, with the highest budget and easily the worst.
Oh.
So, let's be clear. It is not the worst made of the 3.
No, it has the highest budget. Production-wise, it looks a lot slicker. It's a lot cleaner, but it's way worse for it.
It is.
Right.
It's so funny.
This film is so goddamn bad.
We have gotten least.
Oh, and I will be checking out the GTFS roundup commentary before the end of the year as well. That's why I'm doing this now, and then not leftovers. Yeah.
Or at least faithful. Less faithful with every movie. Even the movie where the characters were named Sito and Monkey Boy were still more accurate than this film.
This is the least faithful Dragon Ball production, and Dragon Ball Evolution falls prey to that late aughts sort of adaptation thing that The Last Airbender also fell into.
Do you know what though? I was saying this to a mate. I went for a run the other day with my friend, and I said, "Do you know what? Dragon Ball Evolution, awful movie, but we've got to be thankful for it because Akira Toriyama would not have come back if this was not made, because he did not want to be the legacy that was left behind." I'm pretty sure that was a thing. I might be completely wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. And if that is the case, I'm glad it exists.
Where somebody read the wiki and decided that they can just make the movie based off of that plot, make a movie based off that plot synopsis. But then we gotta make it so that the American audience understands. Goku's gotta go to high school. He's gotta be horny for booby lady. There's gotta be way more guns. And what do people know? They know Namekians. They know the monkey.
Piccolo's awful in it. I think he only makes 3 appearances in the whole film. And I was excited for this film when I found out who was playing Piccolo. Can't remember his name. He was in Buffy. And
But they call it Ozaru
oh well, we'll wait to the end. Hopefully they check out after the credits.
in Japanese, so we'll do that. We'll use a lot of the Japanese names. Avatar's really popular. Let's make sure that Goku can airbend.
Yep.
Oh
Just doing
yeah.
Matrix stuff. All right, got her out of the way. Now let's keep going.
Shadow Crane Strike is the most basic of all the airbending.
Real basic bitch airbending.
Yeah, also, Avatar was a big thing at this time. I'm not even sure how they got away with saying airbending.
It's so bad.
Yeah, so this script went through a bunch of rewrites.
Oh really?
This is known.
Clear.
I can believe it.
Clearly.
And
A lot of studio meddling.
of course, some of the original scripts were actually way closer, obviously. But not sure at what stage it happened that things just went way off the rails. We say executive meddling, could have been the director, it could have been the studio, but somebody said, you gotta put Goku in high school, you gotta give him a romance.
You gotta give him bullies. You gotta make him relatable
It's just so dumb.
to today's teens.
Yeah, and it really just screams that look, I don't think we need live action Dragon Ball. And I've said this. I'll
We
say
don't.
this till I die.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Yeah, largely because the manga itself and the anime, they work as well as they do largely because of
Of
what
the
they
animation.
are. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, to a certain extent,
art.
One Piece for me. Look, I love live action One Piece, but there are things the manga and anime can do that the animes or that the live action version is never
Can't.
going to be able to do.
Yeah,
because
never will be able to
art,
do.
Like
Live action
manga
One Piece,
and
yeah, give me
animation,
season 2.
They can portray things that you just can't in live action.
Yeah, they're a platform. They aren't just like the medium in
Yeah.
which you tell the story gives it a certain energy.
And the ability to just do things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this movie was never going to be able to match the cartoony, over-the-top fantasy action of Dragon Ball.
So, but it never even tries.
It never even fucking
No.
tries.
Like the opening little like
Oh yeah, the fight scene with Grandpa Gohan is just what
training fight between Goku and Gohan.
Is the closest thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad set piece, but it immediately shows that pretty much both of the movies beforehand had way better fighting choreography.
Yep.
It was less dynamic with the camera work for the most part, but the actual martial arts choreography better
Yeah,
in
so-
those two previous movies we watched.
yeah, like the skidding on top of the car with his hair. What is that about?
Which is so sad because even in the Korean one, it still had more like entertaining shots. If only just because like, oh wow, it's so cool that they were able to pull that off
Yeah,
in
but-
1990 with this sort of budget.
But this with the 2009 era like
I went to the cinema to see this film and I absolutely hated it.
shit filmmaking. Jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
90% of the time in any action scene, which are also usually way too dark, or there's too much happening in every shot for you to figure out what is actually supposed to be happening.
Yeah, between the subpar camera work, the
No.
almost non-existent choreography, and just terrible editing. Yeah, this movie is a chore to watch just in terms of the action.
Yeah.
Completely
Like,
forgetting
yeah,
everything else.
Get rid of it being a Dragon Ball movie, and this is still just a bad movie.
Oh yeah, it's a and
But as a Dragon Ball adaptation, it's so much worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
It like there was clearly somebody who knew the lore. There are enough deep cuts in the script and in the background, like little Easter egg things that are fairly deep cut for the modern audience that somebody cared.
Yeah.
James Marsters loves Dragon Ball. Like
Yeah, I remember how excited he was seeing a video with him, like being like, "Yeah, I'm playing Piccolo. It's gonna be so cool." And it was just like, "Oh,
I can't imagine how much of a fucking heartbreak reading this script must have been to him.
So James Marsters, by the way, Spike from Buffy.
there we go."
Also came along and would eventually go on to be Zamas.
Yes.
Oh,
So much
Cool.
that after this, he's by the
He's
way.
publicly outspoken about how he doesn't like this movie.
I was in this really not a good live action Dragon Ball movie called Dragon Ball Evolution.
oh, I'm so glad that my friend didn't do what I asked her to do years ago. Then, because like there was a Comic-Con, and he was there, and I nearly convinced her to buy a copy of the DVD for Dragon Ball Evolution, and ask him to sign it. Because I thought it would be funny, because she didn't have a clue. She's not a fan of anything, and I'm so glad so glad that didn't happen. Oh, mate.
And
It wasn't good.
oh boy, was it not good. It was really
Was the experience at least
offensively
good?
bad. Offensively
Hey,
bad.
at least he knows.
Really?
Oh my god.
I never heard of it.
Thank God. That's the one good thing about the movie is that not a lot of people saw it. And if anyone's watching, and everyone is, don't go see that film.
During the
Wow.
movie's production, he actually said, make Piccolo older. He wanted him to be Demon King Piccolo. They were trying to make him
Piccolo
like,
Jr..
Piccolo Jr. And he's like, no, if you're going for Demon King Piccolo, he's got to be older. He's got to be.
He was the one that forced them to actually add the antenna things to the costume too. He wasn't going to have those in the original.
I think you're right.
Huh.
And then after the movie obviously flopped, he was like, please, I need another chance. please make me another Dragon Ball villain. I have to do
Please,
this right.
please.
So he went from one green guy to another green guy, and
Some
he
merciless
fucking
class.
killed
Yeah, it took a decade to get there, but he eventually.
I didn't
got to
realize he
it.
did the
Piccolo in this movie
the English voice for that. That's
he's
class.
He's nothing. He has like 12 lines.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything in the film.
They're all down here. Oh, they must have the Dragon Ball. Ah, Ozaru, my faithful servant, Ozaru.
Yeah, I know, right? It's really funny that his like the most dialogue he has in the movie is when he's expositing about Ozaru, and then like after that, I think he has like 3 more lines and then he dies.
Yeah. By the
does,
way,
yeah, he doesn't do
yes,
anything.
in this movie, they explained very early on that Ozaru.
Oh, that's why you wore that.
Yeah, I think about this shit, dude. I coordinate my outfits for these things.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
I
he-
wear what those come from.
Ozaru was Piccolo's slave, like his servant, 2,000 years ago. And now,
It's so weird.
an 18-year-old Goku. What?
How's it work?
They
How's it
never
work?
explained that plot hole.
Yeah, how
They
does it
give
work?
Kind of a throwaway
Yeah.
line where it's like,
You were thrown out into space and came back, and now you're here in time for the prophecy.
Right. I think the Ozaru is just a spirit that's reincarnated. He's the servant of Piccolo,
So, like, and yeah, we pointed this out while watching this, that even if this movie somehow, some way did well enough to get a sequel, you'd never be able to do the Saiyans right at this point because you just butchered their entire lore.
Yeah.
God, it looks so bad.
So apparently, it wasn't supposed to look like this, but the backlash over the images that people saw was so bad, they actually ended up making it a monkey instead of what it originally looked like, which was terrible.
I'm guessing it was more wolf.
No,
Oh.
it was more alien.
I remember that.
White.
Yes, so
No,
bad.
there is this part of me. I need to see the timeline where the movie did well enough for them to make a sequel.
Yeah, where they
I need to see what Vegeta and Nappa look like.
Or like if they throw all 3 at once, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz, or if it's like, who knows what the fuck they'd do? Because this movie didn't give a shit about the source material.
No.
See, what I'm assuming that they do is that at the very beginning, you would have Raditz show up, and then as Goku's about to be defeated by him, Piccolo comes in and saves him. Goku doesn't die. They have to train, Piccolo and them go off to train before the Saiyans get there. I know, it sounds bad, right? It's probably what they do.
I don't even think they'd do it that well.
No, oh, wow.
No, I think it'd be a Mortal Kombat Annihilation situation where you have like Yamcha, like Roshi, Goku, and like Goku would die, and they'd have to bring him back, and he would get that training.
So you do think that, yeah, you know what? They could actually killing him off at the very beginning, and then him and then Gohan
It being- yeah.
Gohan takes him to King
Gohan.
Kong. Gohan.
How's Gohan?
Gohan.
If what Gohan said is true, and
Gohan.
Piccolo's here,
Gohan.
this wish
I'm about to throw Gohan's if he says Gohan one more time.
will go.
Han. God damn it. Chow Yun Fat, I know you don't want to be here. I know this is just for the fucking bag,
my
man,
God.
but my God, you did not give a shit about this movie.
So, like, it's so sad looking at this because, like, I think this was Justin Chatwin's like big movie break too for like the Fox studio. It must have been so depressing reading the final draft of this script if you were in it.
Yeah.
It's like just looking at that and being like, this, I'm never going. This is, oh no, like shit.
Yeah, nobody.
They are so fucking lucky that Avatar: The Last Airbender came out so soon after.
Oh, by the way, there's a hot debate about whether or not The Last Airbender or Dragon Ball Evolution is the worst film.
Last Airbender is bad. It's way worse.
Yeah, no. Last Airbender.
I've not seen it.
Y'all-
I refuse.
y'all, did you actually see The Last Airbender, or did you just hear
No,
it
Last
was bad?
Airbender is way worse than this as a movie, but
It was so bad, I saw riff tracks and I was still bored.
Oh damn.
yeah, like I worked at a movie theater.
Oh, so
when
they're saying
both
Last
this
Airbender
and
is
Avatar
worse.
came out, so I've seen this movie more than probably anybody else on the fucking planet. I've probably seen Avatar: The Last Airbender like not as many times, but I was the go-to in town of people who didn't want to pay for it but just wanted to get in.
Yep.
So, oh my god, it's so like
Yeah.
I don't like this movie. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
By the
of
way,
course,
Last
damn.
Airbender is far worse. Dragon Ball Evolution is
Oh.
still not good.
Fucking bad.
Yeah,
with
no.
Chi-Chi McRoberts and
If Last Airbender is a 1, and it is a fucking 1,
maybe a 0.5.
this is like a 3, maybe a 4.
2.5.
Well, okay, so the reason I would ever rank it any higher is that it is a bad film throughout, but nothing in the film is so dramatically bad that it just kind of makes you feel like crap watching.
But the worst
Hmm.
part about it is it hits that kind of mid-level of bad movies where it's just like, at its best, it's fucking boring.
It's a little unintentionally funny in places. Like for me, so disclaimer, I saw it drunk at a theater. I was laughing my ass off with a bunch of friends watching this.
Oh no, I was
because
stone cold sober
like,
when I
yeah,
saw it at the
this is
cinema, and I wish I was fucking drunk.
And that is to its benefit. If I can laugh at the movie, then it's at least it's above a 2.
Like, dude, you're talking to a guy who loves watching bad movies. I watch and somewhat enjoy X-Men Origin Wolverine unironically.
Oh,
This
do I like that film?
is worse than that. This is like, of the other two, admittedly,
Hey, X-Men
good
Origins
Dragon
Wolverine,
Ball
I like
movies we
that.
Watch, this is the worst because it's in that bell curve where it doesn't have any of the other movies' charm, where its budget was like, where they were like lacking in budget but had to make up for it in spirit. This had so much budget that
There
it
was no
literally
spirit.
feels like wasted potential.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're just looking at this and thinking they had this much money, this much time to go into a production, and this is what you ended up with.
Actually, I'm sort of curious because I know that I've already looked up this information before, but what was the actual budget for Dragon Ball Evolution? Because, like, so we mentioned this when we were watching. Iron Man came out a year before this, right?
Yes.
Oh.
1 year before this.
Oh, it's got a. You might.
Did
be right.
it?
It's got a 2.5 on IMDb.
I'm pretty. I got my pulse. I got the pulse of the community on lock.
Okay, so do you know what the budget of this movie was?
I'm going to guess. God, 2009, 45 million,
Lower.
30 million.
Yes.
Okay,
$30
I wasn't
million.
that far off.
Yeah. So to its credit, the Iron Man comparison's way off. Iron Man had 140.
Yeah,
this
but
had 30.
Yeah, but still, $30 million went into this. $30 million
Oh.
of production budget, and
Damn, District 9
you
is
can
such a
see
good
where they used it.
film.
The house collapsing scene, that looked cool. That's probably the coolest looking effect in the entire movie.
Actually, the where you see it is literally all throughout. The thing is, the movie is awash in CG.
Classic healing technique.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious. They literally used it for absolutely everything. It was so stupid. I'm going to use it to light up candles. I'm going to bring this guy back to life. It's just like, what the fuck? That's so funny.
There was so much green screen. There were so many backgrounds.
The
Classic
puns that Piccolo makes
healing
that have to keep
technique.
regenerating.
Yeah, what the friggin' hell were
this
they?
movie's budget is stretched super thin. I can tell. As I was rewatching it this time, I'm like, wow, yeah, no, there's so much CG throughout.
I'm wondering how much of the budget went to the CG crew and how much of it went to actual production design.
Yeah.
Because, like, some of the settings and places like that were fairly intricate. I liked the monastery. Obviously, they just used, like, Universal Studios for the arena, like the Kumite scene that they had. I think the lava pit, at least some of that was, like, built, while the lava pit and stuff like that was obviously CG. But, yeah, it is wasted potential. Like, legitimately. From script to production, there is so much wasted potential here that stops it from being a good bad movie to just being a bad movie. I would not put this in a bad movie watch night kind of selection.
No.
I'm not sure.
No, this is like a one-off sit down, hate, watch movie. It's like, you gotta be in the right frame of mind for this. This is like, you're all drunk and you just go, right, do you remember that film Dragon Ball Evolution? Yeah, that was really bad. Do you want to like remind ourselves how bad it is and then just go, okay.
I'm not 100% certain.
I would rather either of the other two because I think they are much more of a spectacle.
And way more charming.
Way more charming.
Way more charming.
This movie, next to no charm. Next to none. Every now and again, you get a spark of it. I think, like, the most charm this movie gets is when Goku's, like, slicking back his hair and then it flicks back out. That's probably the most clever joke in the entire movie.
Yeah, no, bar none. That and the scene where he's just eating a giant drumstick. It's like, oh, hey, two shining small moments where we feel like we're actually watching Goku.
And every now and again, you look into the background and you'll see, like, the city they're in. It's like, you just see Paozu in the background. It's like, hey, yeah, see, somebody gets it. Somebody knows what we're missing.
I'm not so bad once you get to know me.
I'm worse, actually.
Ah,
Ha 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 ha! I get that. Roshi's never referred to as a turtle hermit. He lives in the middle of a quarry. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a knock on capitalism because in the background of all of those scenes, it's like, oh, we're building new high rises, 45 units left, and Roshi's that like the up house in the middle of this developing city.
which look, if there were a story behind that, I'd love to hear it. I kind of dig it visually. It's not a
It
bad
does
visual,
look
But they don't do
alright.
anything with it.
No.
No.
Yeah, it's oh man.
That's the big problem. It's like, what can you really say about this movie that hasn't been said a billion times?
Oh yeah, like, in fact, if you want to watch the riff, if you want to get the riff track, it's still up there.
It's still available.
Yeah.
I think I have it on Drive at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of our current links still exist, but fuck. I spent a couple dozen hours of my life rewatching this movie and writing that, so.
I did enjoy. We wrote that together actually a little
No,
bit.
I mean, I wrote that rough draft, and I think you went through and helped
Yeah.
me, like, pace out some of it, but.
Yeah. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with that. I know you didn't because you had to watch the film a billion times, and I'm very sorry.
That was back when I was still like, selling my plasma to help pay my rent and get me some like date night money. Like I was just like had the laptop on, draining me of my fluid so I can sell it to the system, typing out jokes. That's what I was doing.
Damn.
You gotta
Good
scrape by
times.
sometimes. You got to keep going until you don't have to sell your fluids for money anymore.
Anyway.
I am Goku.
Yeah, you.
And I am a Super Saiyan!
Do you think that in this moment they really wanted to make him go Super Saiyan? Do you think they considered that?
You know it crossed their
Definitely.
mind. Especially with that.
Yeah.
If you think there's a cut out there that doesn't have his hair going a little gold there,
Must be.
it's a wash with problems. Like tantamount to it is that climactic scene that everybody knows about where Goku finally charges up the Kame! And then he jumps forward.
So weird.
Like you said while we were sitting down and watching it, how many examples of beam clashes exist for them to look at and be like, you know what? No, we're going our own. I'm going to do my own thing.
Like, the most famous one in the entire franchise is Goku
With
versus
Vegeta, yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
That was the setup they had here for I mean,
It
technically,
literally
there was
is, isn't it?
There was also the one with Goku versus Piccolo in their fight at the 23rd World Tournament.
But it's obvious what they wanted to do was do that thing where Goku flies through him, but to do that, you need him to propel himself with the Kamehameha, which he doesn't do.
yeah.
It's like, there's so many weird fucking choices that anybody who gives a shit or knows about Dragon Ball should have looked at and would have been able to look at and say no. But due to the studio system and the fact that like we're on a budget, we're on a time frame, we're doing it to the page. So everybody there, and you can tell that the people who like Dragon Ball, they don't give like they're just
there.
out.
I mean, the people there who like Dragon Ball, we don't even know who those are.
Marsters.
I mean, yeah, okay, we
Yeah.
don't know who they are besides Monsters, who we've established.
Who's hardly
Enough, you know.
involved.
Yeah, but who, like everybody who's on screen. God
Ju-
damn.
Okay, talking about the actors, by the way, like we talked. Okay, so it's very obvious that a lot of them were struggling. Marsters cared. Marsters was giving his best with what little he had.
They gave him very little.
Very
little
good.
to work with,
Oh.
and I feel like he gave what little they gave back, if I'm going to be honest. Like, he was very flat throughout, but they didn't give Piccolo anything.
Yeah, that's
No,
all
like-
like he was good at B flat.
That's the thing that pissed me off. Like, I like a good villain. I want a good villain. I want him to have time. I want him to have motivation. I want to have a little bit of explanation. Get nothing. He's, like they said, he's in 3 or 4 scenes in the whole movie, and he's meant to be the bad guy.
They wrote him fucking flat. Is it Randall Kim?
I don't know.
Gohan's actor. He's nice. He's fine. He's just this nice old man. I actually really liked him. In fact, I could have seen him as an actual Grandpa Gohan if they ever. I could have also seen him as Roshi if they decided to go that route.
No, true power comes from inside. Your key.
He's trying to teach him how to use the fucking Ultra Instinct.
Yes, I'm sure they're thinking that far. Chi-Chi's actress is probably the highlight of the film. I think that her scenes were probably the strongest.
She is giving a lot. I don't know if it's good. It's hard to tell because she's kind of surrounded by.
She is a wellspring of energy in a movie that fucking needs it.
Yes, she's got attitude. She's forward driving, but her dialogue is so boilerplate that it's hard to tell if.
Dude, the movie's full of fucking platitudes.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's not a single, like, this movie can't go 15 minutes without a platitude.
You've got to make it your own. Remember who you are.
The two must become one. Only you hold you back. Just
Kill me.
so fucking trite.
And then fucking Chatwin sucks.
Oh no, yeah, a lot of his scenes are rough.
Look, I could see a alternate reality where Justin Chatwin went on from Weeds, where the first place I ever saw him, and then like became a decent actor, kind of like an Aaron Paul situation.
I think he is a decent actor. The problem is, like,
You couldn't tell from this movie.
no, because I think the energy he was trying to put into Goku was that, like, lighthearted sort of goofball energy, but that's not the character they wrote.
No.
Is it?
Yeah, I
No,
could
he felt
see that.
No. I mean, is that the energy he was giving?
It
Because
was. He was giving dog energy.
I don't know.
Well, you made a Dragon Ball energy locator? Cool.
Dragon Ball Energy, DBE.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that one.
Oh, I know about that.
Ugh.
Like in a couple scenes, like the one with the turkey leg, maybe. But a lot of the other ones, he's still doing that. Like he's still being really cocky, like really uncharacteristically cocky. And that's the attitude. And yeah, I know he's written that way, but that's the way he's playing it too.
I guess I don't know, but there's some scenes where I see that sort of like dog energy, just with that dialogue that doesn't fit the dog energy, which is why some of it comes across as really awkward and stilted.
And also just the whole thing with him being a teenager in high school who wants friends and a girlfriend, really just look.
It's not Goku.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. The reason people like Dragon Ball is
I think it's hilarious that they have not mentioned the hair over the car. Please mention it.
largely because of Goku. They like this character who's like a little bit lighthearted and like loves to fight. That's the thing. He loves to fight.
Yeah, there's a whole ass tournament going on. He's like, oh, I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm
what?
not about that life.
Like,
Yeah.
what if he showed up and been like, wait, hold
There's
on.
a tournament?
Yeah, who can I
And-
fight
and, like,
next?
Roshi would have been like, we don't have time for that. And he's like, no, I want to enter.
What if one of the prizes was a Dragon Ball? You know, like,
Oh yeah, that would
Well,
be
that would have been
Like,
so
one of
simple
the
to
prizes
write.
it would have extended the movie, but I mean, like, it also would have given them a chance. Like, what if Piccolo showed up in disguise? Piccolo beats him, gets the Dragon Ball. Now he needs to get his run back.
Oh.
God, we could rewrite this movie.
I could write a better Dragon Ball treatment in like 2 days.
Oof.
Try me. It's not like I don't have 2 in my head already. Wolfang Gun!
Thank you. I was hoping you'd say it.
This whole movie just flops.
Wasted
It
opportunity.
flops super hard.
Yeah.
It was not a, like, it was never going to succeed.
No,
There was a reason that, like, in the Resurrection F review that we have on our channel that I wrote, I specifically stated, while Resurrection F is far from the best Dragon Ball Z movie, it's way better than what we get with Evolution. Like, I did a whole call to action in that thing where I'm like, go see it while it's in theaters. If this thing can hit higher budgets than
Good
Evolution,
film.
maybe they'll get the fucking memo. Just
although apparently, we can at least credit this movie for one very specific thing.
what's that?
apparently this is what got Toriyama back into writing for Dragon Ball.
Yes, so I am right, I think. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Because Battle of Gods was going to happen with or without him, but because of what happened with Evolution, he
No,
actually
I need to
came
be
in.
involved.
And yo, if you hear about some of the original treatments for Battle of Gods, be happy.
Oh
because
yeah, dude. Toriyama is the lifeblood of Dragon Ball, which is
was the
no is. I'm very interested. Like you know, if they can
Damn it.
prove otherwise, but
Damn it.
I don't know, man. It's tough.
Vegeta, Timer, Super. I don't want to spoil. Kind of messes a few things up with Super, but we don't talk about that.
He got an EP credit in this,
Right.
and Stephen Chow is a producer. I don't know how involved.
So I was right. I knew it.
I hear
This
that
is what
he
got him back.
Stonewalled hard, and it was
He had
very-
to have because I know he loves Dragon Ball. Like,
Yeah.
he's like his entire energy and filmography screams that.
It's like I've said so many times. You want a Dragon Ball movie? Had fucking Stephen Chow make it. The man made Kung Fu Hustle. He was
What a
halfway
film.
there.
What a
Shaolin
film.
Soccer, like
Kung Fu Hustle's
all that.
so good.
Yeah. It's a little goofy, great choreography,
Yeah.
amazing feats of strength.
underdog hero.
Yeah, fucking God.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Seriously, if you haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle and you're a fan of Dragon Ball, you are missing out. Watch
I'm
Kung
gonna
Fu
go.
Hustle.
I'm gonna go home and rewatch it.
It's so good. Kung Fu Hustle's
No,
amazing.
you're gonna go home and you're gonna start Thunderbolt Fantasy like I told you.
I'll watch it.
Oh, wow. No, isn't that the,
I
the
don't
puppet
know,
thing?
like,
I
how
mean,
much
I don't
else
know why I
can
said
really
no,
be
but
said about a movie that has universally been panned by anime fans. Is there anybody out there, like, no disrespect? Again, I unironically enjoy X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I love it.
I know it's bad.
Great film.
Is there anybody out there that enjoys this movie? Like, legitimately?
No, I don't have
No riff
Evolution,
raps, just
no.
This movie, mwah, I'm gonna put it on a set.
if you were to give me the two DVDs or the choice of Dragon Ball Evolution, X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's X-Men Origins Wolverine every time because I actually quite enjoy that film. Like, it's not amazing. The ending's weird. Deadpool's reputation is strange, but still fun. Ryan Reynolds scene with the swords blocking the bullets is just like, it's actually kind of freaking cool.
Saturday night kind of deal.
Yeah, I am sort of curious myself. There are probably some people who grew up with the movie who didn't really know much about Dragon Ball, who kind of like.
Oh my
like-
God! Was there anybody out there that this was their first exposure to Dragon Ball?
No, that's a nightmare. That's probably something that happened to people. Oh, you poor souls. Oh, God.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the comments, was this your
No.
introduction? Anybody?
Oh, makes me feel sick.
know
No,
somebody. You know
no.
somebody. Do tell us. I'm so curious.
That I never even considered.
That's a horrible
that.
thought.
Oh, yeah.
That's
What a horrible
crazy.
thought.
Yeah, 'cause,
No.
like it's like people who like watched like certain bad versions of movies or bad dubs of anime who are like, I don't know, I really like this dub, and it's like because they grew up with that. And
Yeah.
That's the thing that got them connected. Like, so yeah, I'm very curious about that myself.
Yeah, because this movie came out like when we were, God, probably still just wrapping with the Saiyan saga. Back then, 2009. We started
I
in
think
2008.
I think you're largely right because I remember we.
Oh,
put some
abridged,
jokes
right.
In at the during Goku's
Yeah,
fight
during
with-
the Vegeta and Goku fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did the Halloween special earlier where we actually had Piccolo dressed as Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a ha ha hee hoo joke.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
God damn.
Cool.
Honestly, this movie is sort of a time capsule. in
It
that,
is.
isn't
15 years.
Yeah.
God damn. It is. I mean, it's a piece of internet history at this point. I'm glad, like, it has been more than a decade since I have watched this movie. So while a good majority of it I still kind of remembered, my brain had blocked out some of the, like, crap. And it came flying back as to why this movie is so bad. And maybe one of the reasons I hate it more than you is just because I had seen it as many times as I had previously.
I mean, yeah, you definitely would. It would definitely wear on you after some time.
Yeah, there's only so much one can endure.
But yeah, upon rewatching it though, it is actually worse than I remember.
It's
It
it's
is-
the
it
worst.
is
movie
Damn.
we've
Like,
watched by far.
I can't bring myself to watch this film again. It would have to be, it literally would have to be for something like this. It would have to be me and my friends for a video's sake. Like, and then edited, and it would have to be that. I am never ever going to just casually watch this film. There has to be a really big reason to watch it. Wow, yeah, I fucking hate this movie. That's why oh my god, I'm getting aggressive. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't you make me watch it! Oh god, I just spat on my computer.
Almost nothing charming.
Jesus Christ.
There's no charm, only missed potential. Where the others may have had some missed potential, they make up with it with that so much fucking charm.
Yeah.
So much charm, fairly decent, you know.
I need to
martial
check
arts
out those last
choreography
two.
in places.
I'll
And
check them out
the
in January.
CGI,
Maybe.
like the bad CGI.
Let me know if it should.
Makes it better, whereas the bad CGI in this is just like,
Whoa.
ooh, this came out after Lord of the Rings, and this looks like this.
Yeah.
You know?
The moment you see the bug,
Oh my
it's
God.
like you know what kind of movie you're in for.
The bug, the way that Piccolo's minions regenerate.
They look
Piccolo's airship
terrible.
looks like a PlayStation 2 FMV.
It does.
It's like, just like you almost expect for it to zoom out on that airship and have like Cloud and Aerith just kind of like standing on deck or something. It looks like the fucking High Winds. Granted, the design itself, not a bad Toriyama airship design.
I mean, it's not anywhere close to Toriyama airship design,
but not bad as far as this movie goes. They did take the effort of trying to make everything look semi-futuristic.
Yeah, it's sort of weird that they made that effort in the first place. Like, you're not even establishing the rules of this world.
Yeah, at all. Like, it's not established what time was set, anything like that, blah, blah, blah. You could have just not bothered and just had, like, normal houses in the background.
You're trying to make it more fantastical, and that's fine, but it also just, like...
Why?
Spend enough time in it for it to, like, really...
Makes sense.
Yeah, this world that has magic, has people that understand what ki is. Chi-Chi knows about ki.
Yeah.
But then there's just like a whole bunch of regular people just living their lives in this weird future tech society. It's...
Why?
I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for actual Dragon Ball civilians who see the World Martial Arts Tournament, go to it, see people firing energy blasts at each other. They must know that that level of power kind of exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, enough of them die on a regular basis and come back randomly.
I mean, they kind of get a... I don't know. The Kamehameha seems to be...
We don't know anything about how the average human, like what the average person thinks about that world.
Perceives about that world, yeah. Mm.
Oh, wow.
Either way, this Dragon Ball Evolution, worst Dragon Ball adaptation, period. Like, I can't think...
Yeah.
Is there another?
There's probably... no, I can't... I can't even think of one, honestly. I
No.
can't think of a worse adaptation specifically.
It might be like the worst Dragon Ball movie, period.
That's also very likely.
Including that GT special.
Damn!
Which, boring and nothing as it was.
At least had some charming moments.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
This movie is nothing but like
It's
its budget makes it feels like wasted potential.
It's both a mixture of missed potential and just obvious editorial influence throughout. Like, you can just tell that there's executive meddling from top to bottom. So it robs it of any potential that it could have had.
It reeks of executive whiteboard.
Yep.
It's like, what do people like? They like The Matrix. They like Transformers. They like
High schoolers.
They like high schoolers.
Yeah.
They like boobs. They like, Power Rangers was pretty big with a demographic for a while. We can play with that.
Hey, and you know what, right? That live-action Power Rangers movie, I'm saying it just before they throw it in there, in case they do. Like, if they don't, fine. I enjoyed that live-action Power Rangers movie. I thought it was absolutely boss. Really interesting concept. Make the baddie the Green Ranger. That's what they did, wasn't it? Yeah, prior to them being Power Rangers. I got emotional when the Blue Ranger was, you know, I'm trying not to spoil. I enjoyed that live-action Power Rangers movie.
Should we do anything about Dragon Ball? It's incidental.
You know what was not a bad adaptation? The Power Rangers movie.
Yo, yeah, let's go! Oh my god, yes! Let's go, this film was
I
class!
mean the original one. I
Oh,
mean
the more recent one?
yeah. I mean,
Yes! Oh, thank god! Oh, thank god! Oh, thank god!
Barely remember.
I mean, the suits look like garbage and the Zords are shit.
Yeah.
The story is actually halfway
It's
good.
actually decent, man. It was so cool.
That one.
Yeah.
The most I remember about that one, Krispy Kreme. That must be a special place.
Also, how it's implied that one of them jerks off a bull at the beginning.
I don't remember that either.
We
Yeah,
forget
'cause
that.
They steal the mascot, and they're like, I milked him myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still a good movie, though.
Unlike Dragon Ball Evolution.
Unlike Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Evolution.
Oh, thank God, that's so mad.
Studios
Yes.
Cartoon, still available on SharkRobot.com, I assume.
You see,
In case.
I don't have terrible opinions all the time. Just most of the time, apparently.
Wear 3 Piccolo slaves on your shirt.
It's very possible that we actually put the ad for that on this video. If we
I don't
didn't,
know.
it was a
Then
different ad.
it's like Surfshark or me in my underpants again. I don't know. Either way, that's all the Dragon Ball live action movies. That's all of
Wow.
them. Every single one.
Cool.
It's
This was
everything.
the worst.
Yep.
I recommend either of the other two. This one, just don't bother.
I recommend like not watching any live action adaptations of any anime film except Battle Angel Alita. It was actually good.
Do you know what?
It's good.
Still not seen it. And it's getting a sequel in it. I'm all for this. I love that manga. So sick.
A sequel.
Yeah.
I need to see the watch. I need to see to watch. I need to watch this
Not about
first one.
though. Never about this.
I'd sit down and watch that Korean Dragon Ball movie again. And eventually I'd sit down and watch the Chinese one again. I think the problem with that was like I'd seen that one earlier in the year before we did the ranking video.
Yeah.
So like I was still relatively fresh on that one. This is just bad. That was Dragon Ball at the movies, by the way.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball the movies. That was it.
Happy holiday season, I'm thinking at around this point. I don't know.
What day is it? What month is it? What year is it?
God, I hope the election went well.
Oh my God.
That was great. So yeah, wasn't really intrigued by the other two. If you want me to check them out in January, I will. But I want to check out the Dragon Ball GTFS roundup commentary before the end of the year because I really enjoyed the Dragon Ball GTFS series. I was boss, but I'm glad I checked that out. I was waiting to see that because I thought it was a joke when they said they were doing those movies with Dragon Ball Evolution. I thought that was an absolute joke, so I was kind of waiting to see if that actually happened. And because it happened, we checked it out. That was fun. That was boss, and yes, thanks for watching.
Click like and subscribe. Pixel Party Pals. Pixel Party Pals.